Hello and welcome to Model 6, Impact Forecast and Assessment Communication. This presentation is a part of Submodel 6.1 called Collecting Organizational Learning and Data Sources. The presentation covers definition of organizational learning, importance of the organizational learning, and what are the data sources. So, central learning covers 5 main points: understanding what is organizational learning and its strategies, apprehending organizational learning importance and benefits, gaining knowledge of the data sources, gaining practical knowledge of how to choose which data is relevant, and finally, exploring the tools to collecting the data. To begin with, we should understand what does it mean, organizational learning, or OL. Actually, there are different definitions, forms, strategies, and approaches to OA. So, here are some different definitions for organizational learning. Firstly, it can be understood as an ongoing process within a company that enhances its adaptability to internal and external changes. Besides that, organizational learning also can be understood as the ongoing improvement of a company through gaining and sharing experience, derived knowledge within the organization. And third definition would be that organizational learning involves developing and sharing knowledge within your business to adapt strategies. As your company evolves and gains expertise, integrating new insights into your processes becomes essential. So, do you see something that it's repeating? Yes. The main thing is that organizational learning is a process. And this process has some key steps to be implemented. First of them is knowledge creation. If you're looking for what organizational learning is and how managers can promote it, then the answer is through knowledge creation. The managers are always on the lookout to find new knowledge about customers, clients, vendors, business, products, services, and the environment. For knowledge creation, they take the help of networking, market analysis, and surveys to study the market and even their competitors. This knowledge creation is possible by direct exposure to the specific subject through various tasks that involve the processes, needs, and environment of the organization. It is a fact that during knowledge creation, tacit and explicit knowledge is reinforced once again. Another important step would be knowledge retention. So, basically you have to retain the knowledge that you have created to date. You need an effective system for storing, recording, or merely retaining it within the confidence of your organization. This is done so that employees down the lane can gain access to the required information easily and quickly. The third and final step that drives organizational learning is knowledge transfer. In this step, the knowledge or information is transferred from individuals to the organizational community. Some of these methods are simple and some a bit complex, but the transfer of knowledge should happen at all costs. It is evaluated by the help of several metrics like learning curves. Knowledge is often transferred explicitly and tacitly as a direct experience. There are also processes in which place to facilitate knowledge transfer. The manager uses the knowledge that has been created and retained to change processes and decision making. It is essential for an organization that knowledge is gained, created, retained, and transferred for the welfare of the organization as a whole. Of course, it is very important that the organization ensures that the knowledge gained from this process is retained within the organization and is transferable. Knowledge retained by individuals cannot be properly retained, as individuals can leave taking their knowledge with them. But embedded knowledge can be kept within the organization and shared with all individuals. So basically, organizational learning includes the complete information held by the workforce, as well as the integration and interpretation of new knowledge that results in an appropriate action to improve performances. So, who can be the ones holding the information? The answer is very simple. There are four types of knowledge communities. First, of course, individual, then group, organizational, and inter-organizational. So a few words about individual group. As you can probably guess from the name, individual learning has to do with one person. In this case, your employee will learn new hard and soft skills that will impact your team's productivity and overall success. It is up to the individual to decide if they want to share their learning with their direct team or broader organization. Most importantly, when the employee leaves the team or business, their knowledge also goes with them. When we talk about group, we can say that people can learn a lot from each other. This is especially important in an organization. There are a few conflicting definitions of what group learning is. Some believe that group learning is defined as a team taking action, getting feedback, and then funneling it into their subsequent actions, while others see group learning as team members sharing individual knowledge with other team members. Regardless of the definition, a group setting is an important place for new information sharing. Then we have organizational learning. All four types of knowledge communities contribute to your overall organizational learning strategy. However, it is essential to mention it separately from the other three. Organizational learning is how knowledge is created, organized, and retained within your business. It happens in all of your company's activities, for example, people management, customer success, or IT security. These learnings also occur at different rates. For example, rapid product team experimentation will create learnings faster than quarterly sales learnings. Organizational learning aims to adapt to changing business conditions, acclimate to uncertain situations, and improve your team's efficiency. And finally, the fourth way is inter-organizational learning, which basically means different organizations sharing knowledge and learning from each other. Through this method, your team can work faster because someone has already done your research. It also decreases risks since you can learn from another company's mistakes. You most commonly see this method used by a franchisee when we study their franchise business model. So, why it is important to talk about organizational learning while we have so many different options? First, this type of learning benefits both individuals, teams, and the organization as such. There are also positive intra-organizational benefits to this approach, which we're gonna present you in a second. So, Some statements and arguments for proving importance of the organizational learning. First, it boosts employee satisfaction. Besides that, it helps in succession planning by developing leaders at all the levels in the organization, thus increasing the level of efficiency and productivity. Your employees might see minimizing the rates of turnover in the organization. So it means that you can generate more and higher profits, and also you can boost adaptability within the organization, same as promoting efficiency gains. Among other things, organizational learning helps to create a mindset that promotes continuous improvement and also encourages shared ownership and shared accountability in the organization. In general, organizational learning creates a culture that encourages knowledge sharing and adaptive capacity. So it improves and enhances the ability of individuals and teams to embrace changes successfully. So now you know why it is important to follow organizational learning idea and why it is so important. So what can be next? Another very important thing is data sources. As mentioned before, in the organizational learning, we have 3 steps of a process: knowledge creation, knowledge retention, and knowledge transfer. To go anywhere, we have to look through how and what data should we look for to be able to gain an insight. Basically, organizational data is the information that reflects structure, processes, performance, and culture of an organization. Collecting and analyzing organizational data can help us to identify strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, design, and implement changes to improve your organization's effectiveness and efficiency. So let's talk about data sources, and first about collecting process. First of all, you have to determine what information you want to collect. You'll need to decide what topics the information will cover, who you want to collect it from, and how much data you need. Your goals, what you hope to accomplish using the data, will determine your answers to these questions. As an example, you may decide to collect data about which type of articles are most popular on your website among visitors who are between the ages of 18 and 34. You might also choose to gather information about the average age of all of the customers who bought a product from your company within the last month. Next, you start formulating your plan for how you'll collect your data. In the early stages of your planning process, you should establish a time frame for your data collection. You may want to gather some types of data continuously. When it comes to transactional data and website visitor data, for example, you may want to set up a method for tracking the data over the long term. If you're tracking data for a specific campaign, however, you'll track it over a defined period. In these instances, you'll have a schedule for when you'll start and end your data collection. In this first stage, you have to determine your data collection method. The data collection method will make up the core of your data gathering strategy. To select the right collection method, you'll need to consider the type of information you want to collect, the time frame over which you'll obtain it, and the other aspects you determined. Here we're gonna go over various methods you can use in the next section of this presentation. Finally, you come to the stage of collecting the data. You can store and organize your data in your DMP. Be sure to stick to your plan and check on its progress regularly. It might be useful to create a schedule for when you will check it, how your data collection is proceeding, especially if you are collecting data continuously. You may want to make updates to your plan as conditions change and you get new information. And most important, do not forget. Once you've collected all of your data, it's time to analyze it and organize your findings. The analysis phase is crucial because it turns raw data into valuable insights that you can use to enhance your marketing strategies, products, and business decisions. You can use the analytics tools built into our DMP to help with this step. Once you've uncovered the patterns and insights in your data, you can implement the findings to improve your business. So, what tools can you use? And why do you need to use effective tools and methods? Some of them can be mentioned here. Surveys and interviews, observation and documentation, data mining and analytics, benchmarking and evaluation, focus groups and workshops, and finally, visualization and communication. So, a few words about each of these methods and tools. One of the most common and versatile methods for collecting organizational data is to use surveys and interviews. This option can help you to gather feedback, opinions, perceptions, and experiences. You can collect this information from your employees, customers, stakeholders, and other relevant groups. When you are creating your own survey and interview, follow some basic criteria. The questions you are using have to be open-ended, closed-ended, Likert scale or multiple choice. You can choose quantitative or qualitative data to collect. You can also use some kind of different online platforms like Google Forms, SurveyMonkey, or Qualtrics. Everything is manageable and doable. All you have to do is to understand what you want to collect and how you can do that. And of course, what kind of target groups you are addressing, so you prepare accordingly. Another thing would be observation and documentation that helps to document on your organization the actual behaviors, interactions, and outcomes. And in fact, observation and documentation can help verify, complement, or contrast the data obtained from surveys and interviews, as well as uncover hidden or implicit aspects of your organization. And actually, there are different kind of techniques for this observation and documentation process. Observation can be direct, it can be only participant observation, shadowing, or even video recording to collect data from different settings and perspectives. You can also use tools such as checklists, logs, diaries, or notes to record and organize your observations. So you make sure that you have everything in one place, stored as you can use it and analyze further. Another data collection method is data mining and analytics. This method can help you to extract, process, and interpret large and complex sets of data from various sources, such as databases, websites, social media, or sensors. Of course, this data mining and analytics can be different. It can be descriptive, predictive, or prescriptive analytics that will generate insights, patterns, trends, or recommendations from your data. You can also use simple tools such as Excel, Tableau, or Python to perform data mining and analytics tasks. Do not forget that nowadays social media monitoring is essential to collect lots of relevant data. So, even according to your budget and your needs, you can choose what tools to use to make sure that you collect your data and have it in this matter that it's useful for you and your organization. Then we have benchmarking and evaluation. Benchmarking and evaluation can help you compare your organization's performance, processes, practices, or culture with those of other organizations, such as competitors, peers, or best practices. You can use different criteria in this case as well, such as quality, cost, efficiency, innovation, or customer satisfaction to measure and assess your organization's performance and identify gaps and areas for improvement. Actually, to plan and implement actions to close the gaps and enhance your organization's performance, you can use tools such as SWOT analysis, balanced scorecard, or SMART goals. A fifth method to use is focus groups and workshops. They can help you engage your employees, customers, stakeholders, or other relevant groups in a collaborative and interactive way to generate ideas, opinions, feedback, or solutions. Actually, you can use different formats to facilitate the discussion and participation of your focus group or workshop participants, such as brainstorming, problem solving, or decision making. And again, according to your needs and possibilities, you can choose the right way for you. Also, a small tip. To capture and organize the data generated by your focus group or workshop, you can use flipcharts, sticky notes, or even online platforms. Finally, a sixth method is to use visualization and communication. Visualization and communication can help you present and share your organizational data in a clear, concise, and compelling way to inform, persuade, or inspire your audience. Actually, to display your data in a visually appealing and easy to understand way, use different types of visualization like charts, graphs, tables, maps, and dashboards. And again, you can use online tools as well, such as PowerPoint, Prezi, or Canva, to create and deliver your data visualization and communication. To conclude, organizational learning helps business entities to adapt to the continuous change that is happening around them and become competitive and innovative. Besides that, it helps to learn about creating, retaining, evolving, and transferring knowledge to survive and grow. It is a fact that an organization that promotes organizational learning can adapt easily to a changing environment and stay relevant. And having this in mind, learn more about OL strategies and data quality in the additional material attached to this model. Thank you for listening. If you want to learn more, feel free to use these references to deepen your knowledge on the topic.